What's up, you guys? It's me, Elise C. So I'm going to show you guys how to make
these super guns in your games. So basically, for me, I create these little books, and then I put a field around the book, and then I program the book to spawn guns that are not the super guns themselves, but the field also gives the player buffs that it applies as an event. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that right now. If you guys saw, I could shoot really fast. So that was fast. You got this little MP5. So you're gonna have way more bullets in your magazine. And that's done just by getting that. Now, that's for zombies in my game. There's a way to fight somebody who has this. And I'll show you guys also how you make individual weapons have powers as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the editor. How we did this was, in order to make my super weapon, I needed to have a field. I don't even need this object here. I don't need the books. You don't even need to worry about the items that's there. All you need to worry about is this green thing. Come into edit, and this is called Book of Fire for me. So the enter function for this is going to be Book of Fire. You can also have it be the exit function, or have some other thing be the exit function, so that when you pass through it like this, you enter it, the Book of Fire happens, and then when you exit it, something else will happen, or either the Book of Fire can happen again. You can just double it up. You can have it be visible or invisible, and if it's invisible, it doesn't really matter the color, but if it's visible, you might want to change the color to fit the aesthetics of your actual map. You press play, and you come down into Event Editor, and if you don't have Event Editor showing down here, you need to go into Edit Rules, turn on Advanced Editor. Come into Event Editor, you need to click it twice for the initial time for it to open, and we need to click it one more time. So that's totally normal if you're on Steam. I don't know how it works on regular Oculus. So if you look here, you'll see that I have a lot of events. Those are different things that happen on my map. So I'm gonna come over to buffs, because I always start at the buff area. So for my buff, it was Book of Fire Blessing, if you remember that. So I condensed them all down a little bit. So we'll go on down to the Book of Fire Blessing. This is how I made them be powerful guns. So the duration for this is going to be 300 seconds. And then max stat count is going to be 5. Health regeneration, I just want them to have 1 health regeneration per second. So I just added all that, but I wanted other stacks for other things, so I had to put those stacks there. Movement speed multiplier, it's going to increase your speed up to 145%. So you're going to need to add a buff under here, a buff effect. So if we come all the way down here, you'll see add additional buff effect. It's kind of covered up by this drop down menu, but you can see that it says add additional buff effect.
add additional buff effect. Clearly shown right there.
Sort of. Now, once you click that, it's going to pop up another one of these drop down menus, which you're going to pick whatever you want it to be. And in this situation, you guys are looking for super powered guns. So you're going to need to put the magazine multiplier up how you want it. So these ones go 150, 200, 300, 400, 500. So each stack you get goes up 100%. As you saw, the M60 holds over 400 bullets. I think it's about 435 that it can hold maximum. And then I excluded the rocket launcher because it will load all 3 of your rockets and fire them all at the same time, but it will not do 3 times the damage. So I removed that. And if I were you, I would remove that too. Fire rate multiplier is how they shoot so fast. And that's the one that you're going to want for superpowered guns at 500%, is that ridiculous speed that you saw. Fling power multiplier, that is just the buff that is also going along with this. It's going to make you go flingy around the map a little bit faster. And if you want, you can even add damage scale multiplier so that they do more damage. But if you think about it, if it's shooting fast already, has a lot of bullets already, you don't really need to add a damage buff. You can add a damage buff elsewhere in a different situation, or you can just add it there if you just want your game to be almost unplayable. But if you're going to add this, I strongly advise you to make sure that you balance it out and have something in the map that can counter the person that's using this buff here, because it's going to make it very unplayable and unfun for a lot of people. Once you start making a bunch of buffs, this buff section, to click on it, will start to get kind of laggy. So it'll kind of slow up a bit as you add more and more of these buffs. But once you have your buff, it could ruin some people's game experience if it's not balanced correctly. If you're adding this, super overpowered thing, make sure you add something that's going to be able to counter that in the game, or else you risk running a game that's really unplayable. You can have it notify them, and you can also hide it from them. I think it's cool when you notify them so that they know what's going on. And you can also make it be exclusive. If it's exclusive, it's going to get rid of all the other buffs that the character has. Also, it's going to prevent them from getting any other buffs until this timer duration has run out. So come on over to events after you've created your buff. You can even add your buffs to roles, so that when a player spawns with a role already attached to them, you can add a buff here. And it will pop up as your thing here, and book a fire blessing. So in the events section is where you really want to be at, so that you can make this field, this green field, do what it did on my map, give you super powered weapons, and also drop a gun. So spawn loot with rarity is the thing that I added for it to drop those guns. Level 5.
Right there is what it says. It's very apparent and clear.
So the main thing you're going to want to do is name it first. So I name
it Book of Fire.
Trigger function is what you're going to come down in this drop menu and select. We'll get into other things later. But for this, and I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but for how I did it,
trigger function, and you're going to come down to the select. Triggering player is what you're going to come down to the drop menu.
And make sure you have triggering player selected. You can do all players for other things like the purge.
In my map, and we'll get into that.
So on here, I make it play a sound when you walk over this. And then I add the action apply buff. So plus action, apply buff. Then plus action, spawn loot with rarity. So when you saw me running across this and things were spawning and that bong, 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 it was stacking this Book of Fire blessing. So once that happens, you can go ahead and add it into your map. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be something like anything. It could be anything. It could be one of these little things right here. It could be like a doorway like this. It could just be invisible and you won't even see it. And you can just walk through a doorway, or you could just walk in an area and it will activate that buff for you. You guys, next time you come back, we'll be talking about
these red force fields here. And when you walk into them, bang.
Why something happens when you walk into them on my map. It's so that everybody else can see you. Everybody else can move a little faster to get to you.
To stop you from getting this buff here, this overpowered buff.
And we're going to show you guys how to make those work and how to customize them